back to my channel, Error 404 Mental Health Not Found, your one-stop shop for all things mental health. I am your sexy with a Q host, Tim, and I have a fun episode for us today. I thought we would jump into something a little more interactive, shall we call it. But before we get into that, I do want to cover my bases. I do want to let you all know that I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist or psychologist. I am not a mental health professional of any kind. I cannot diagnose you for anything. I cannot prescribe anything for you. I cannot medicate you for anything. So please do not ask. If you or someone you know feels like you are having a mental health crisis of any kind, please stop what you're doing, dial 911, go find a friend, go find a trusted family member. If you need resources, please check the show notes on both my YouTube page as well as my Facebook page, where I do provide links to all kinds of different help centers and resources that can help you deal with mental health issues of any kind. Remember, you are valuable to this world, no matter what you may feel, no matter what you think other people think. You matter. You're important, and this world is a better place with you in it. So please, 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 let's make sure that we are all taking care of our mental health. And speaking of taking care of our mental health, this week's episode, we are going to be talking about mindfulness and mental health, cultivating peace in a chaotic world. Yay! This episode was born out of necessity, almost. With both me and my husband, things have been getting pretty chaotic at work lately. We've been having a lot less time for other things. With my job, we had just been recently remodeled, and we're still trying to get everything back to the way it was in this new space, and all kinds of different things that we are working through with that. With my husband's job, he's been taking on a lot more recently, as well as having to go in a lot more recently, so he's been stressed out with that as well. It leaves less time for us together, as well as less time for our friends, and that is creating stress for us individually. So I wanted to talk about ways that we can deal with that stress, that we can help ourselves kind of get through that thing that we call our lives. And it's really important that we do find ways to be mindful of our surroundings and our mental state, because if we don't, it can affect every other portion of our lives, from our personal lives to our professional lives and everything in between. It affects the way we interact with people. It affects the way we're able to do our job in a effective manner. And when we are less stressed, when we are able to at least find ways to cope with it and to deal with it in a healthy way that actually helps decrease that level of stress, that's when we become more productive. That's when we are able to properly give our attention to the things that really deserve that attention. So in this episode, it's going to be kind of simple. I'm not going to be going through a lot of, or pretty much any kind of medical terminology. I think we all know what stress is and what stress feels like. So I'm not going to bother with like the medical side of that. I wanted to really just jump into different ways that we can cope with it. So we are going to do things like weird yoga. We're going to do some meditations. I'm going to talk about some of the things that I do that help me de-stress. And we're going to end it with a fun little fashion show that I am calling Dress to De-Stress. Get it? Get it? Not dress to impress, but dress to de-stress. I know. I'm ashamed. You know what? Let's go do some yoga. How about that? All right, guys. So we're going to do some yoga, and I want to start out by saying I don't do yoga. It's not my personal jam. It's not my normal thing. So I'm going to be real bad at it. And that's okay. That's not the point of what we're doing here. We're not looking for someone who can just do it expertly. We're going to try and make a couple of fun twists on some yoga moves that I have found. The first one, I think, is probably one of the most common ones that people know. Everybody's heard of the downward dog. So you line yourself up, and you're supposed to create kind of like a pyramid or a triangle with the bottom of your spine kind of facing up. So not that flexible, but we're gonna try it. So it's supposed to be down, and you're supposed to be able to extend your legs all the way, like, till they, yeah, I can't do that, but, you know, you get the idea there. One thing I found with that one is they have a variation on it called the puppy dog pose, where you're just down like this, like a puppy dog, shaking your butt in the air. I can do this one. You're supposed to be able to get your spine down a little bit more, but this one actually feels decent when you do it and you try and bring your spine down a little bit. I found this one to be a little bit hilarious though, because all I can see is that dog kind of wagging its tail there, and this is very suggestive. Wink, wink. Puppy dog pose. Everybody should try it. Alright, so the next one that I found to be funny as well. It is called the flamingo pose. There are several variations that I did find on this one. Most of the variations I cannot do, but I will show you a couple to the best of my ability. And the idea of the flamingo pose was to kind of work on your lower back as well as your core a little bit. So the idea is that you start on your non-dominant leg, you take your dominant leg, and you create an angle at it here. And while you're doing that, you're going to take your arms, both of them, bring them behind your back to your lower back, and you're going to kind of stretch forward, using your core to try and help balance you as much as you can, and you're going to hold that. Some of the variations do have the right leg in the back, some of it have it in the front. There's even one I found that has it in the front. You're holding it and then doing this while locking your leg, knee, whatever. There's one where you bring it back and you have to go all the way straight down. I'm not even going to try that because you will hear my spine snap. So that's just not going to happen on that one. And then there's one variation called the humble flamingo. And it's a much simpler version where you're just bringing the one leg up like this. One hand goes behind the back at your lower back at your spine, and the other goes straight up like a flamingo. And you can go side to side if you want to stretch that out. I did find this one was really good for my lower back. This one did help with my lower back a little bit. And that humble flamingo pose, that going side to side like this, was nice. And if you do it, you know, switch your leg up and whatnot, it can be good. Quick fun story, back in the era of Prohibition, police needed a way to detain people in mass, so they would bring multiple sets of handcuffs, and they would do something called the flamingo arrest, where they would get somebody on the ground, they would take one arm, and they would handcuff it to the opposite leg. And if you tried to get up while you're doing this, it's very difficult to get up. If you do get up, you're basically unable to hold your balance for any point in time. And that was a way that they could get somebody down, keep them from running away while they went and chase somebody else. I found that interesting. There's the flamingo pose. I hope you enjoy that one. All right, so this next one is called the drinking giraffe pose. But with the way I'm going to do it, we're going to call it the drunk giraffe pose because I'm not going to do it well. Now, if you've never seen video of a giraffe drinking water, here it is. So they have this stance that they have to do in order to get down to the water. Their necks are long, but they still need to lower themselves down in order to get it. So, this is gonna be awful. This is gonna be really bad. So you spread your legs out as much as you feel comfortable here. And then you're supposed to take your arms, invert them, cross them, and clamp them together, and bring them up over your head as much as you can. And then bend. And if you can get your arms to reach the floor, great. If you're like me and cannot, I've had a bit too much at the watering hole. I cannot keep my balance during that pose. Okay, we're gonna try it again. So, okay, stance. Yeah, there we go. And you would just hold it as long as you can, which isn't very long for me. But this one, right up here, I really felt it, as well as the lower back, but right up here, it really kind of stretched things out, as well as on here on my arms. It was interesting. If I tried it again, I feel like I would just headbutt into the ground and there would just be like a 30-minute clip of me unconscious on the floor. So we're not going to do that again. But that is the drinking giraffe, aka my version, the drunken giraffe. Too much at the watering hole. Okay, so I have one more pose for you guys. I saved the best for last in my opinion. This one is called the dying bug pose, and it is as silly as it sounds. If you watch videos about it, I highly recommend that you put the videos on fast forward because it looks ridiculous. But it's a core. It's for your core, I guess. You're supposed to tighten your core while you do this one. So you're gonna start by you're gonna get on your back, and once you're on your back, your arms are gonna go straight up, and your legs go up at basically a 90-degree angle. I can't tell if I'm at a 90-degree angle or not. And the way it's supposed to work, you bring one arm backwards and the opposite leg forward. So it would be like this. And like that. And when you come back to the center, you can rest for a hot second and then do it again. But it's basically just this, like a dying bug trying to get up off of its back and can't do it. This one's fun for no other reason than it makes me laugh. But you do feel it right here in your core. You do get that strength, as it were, in there. Dying bug. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's a fun one. Try it. I'm gonna try and get up now. God. Jesus Christ. How old am I? So those are some of the yoga poses that you can do that not only are going to help your body, but also going to help your mind. They all made me laugh. And laughter is a great way to kind of let go of some of the stress that we feel throughout the day. Whenever I have a really good hearty laugh, I'm always feeling better about things. I'm always feeling better about myself and my surroundings. Even if you're not someone who's into yoga, even if you're not somebody who has the time to do this on a daily basis or something, try and work it in every now and again, because it does help, and it also does help your body. Just because it's not my jam doesn't mean it's not beneficial and that it's not helpful. It's just not something I personally have ever really gotten into, but I did discover some that are fun, and I may pick them up again later. So who knows? But it really did help my mind as much as it did my body. So enjoy those poses. Okay, so we tried some yoga, and that was a thing we did. So now I want to try something a little different. In a way, it's kind of the same in that it's getting you to focus your energy, your mental energy on your inside. But it's not so much about the body this time. We are going to be doing some meditation. And meditation is great because it's a chance to self-reflect. There's all kinds of different forms of meditation. Even therapy, you could argue, is a form of meditation, and that it's getting you to open up and talk and reflect on yourself and the way things are going and so on and so forth. So I thought it would be fun if we did a bit of a guided meditation. So I found a great video. There's no real video, but I have it playing behind me here. And we're just going to kind of go with what the guided meditation says. So let's give it a shot. So everybody on the floor, cross your legs, get comfortable. Let's begin our guided meditation.
Welcome to this body scan meditation guided by a supremely unenlightened mortal. Sit down comfortably on a chair or on the floor or a cave in the Himalayas. Your back should be straight yet comfortable. You may be wondering if that is even possible.
Yeah.
Keep wondering.
Okay.
Now close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Now smile. Even if it is a fake smile like the one your neighbor gives you. Take your attention to your head. How does your scalp feel? Itchy? Then pause this meditation right now and go wash your hair. Feel the air going in and out of your nostrils. How does it feel? Is it making funny whistling sounds? If yes, then blow your nose. Now bring your attention to your jaw. Is it relaxed? If not, you're probably still angry about season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Oh my God, yes.
Feel the sensations in your neck. Do you feel any tightness? If yes, open your eyes and make sure no one is strangling you. Do you feel any pain? If yes, simply observe it without judging it as good or bad. It's probably bad though, isn't it? If you don't feel any pain in the neck, are you sure? Because I'm trying my best to be a pain in the neck right now. Feel your chest moving in and out as you breathe. Can you hear your heartbeat? Tuk tuk, tuk tuk, tuk tuk. Now bring your focus to your belly. Feel it expanding and contracting as you breathe. What else do you feel in your belly? Maybe you feel chewed up lasagna. Let's scan your bum now. Stay seated No need to go sit on the scanner. Let's take the attention now to your legs. Now, your feet. Maybe you're feeling pins and needles in your feet.
Not bad.
Figuratively, hopefully not literally. If it is literally, then scan the room for an acupuncturist. That completes our body scan meditation. One word of caution: if you're doing body scan meditation in a class or a group, remember you're scanning your own body, not the body of an attractive person sitting next to you. Thank you.
Well, there we go, guys. I enjoyed that. I head to toe. I'm feeling a little more relaxed and a little more self-aware, as it were, and a little more joyful as well. All right, so the next thing I want to do, I thought would be really fun. I work in downtown Chicago, and that means that I see a lot of people going to their jobs, coming from their jobs, and I notice that a lot of them are very dressed to impress, which is understandable if you have, a high-profile job, or you have a job that, there's a dress code that requires you to dress a specific way. But there are people out there who find that dressing up to be almost therapeutic. They really, really enjoy it. And it can be really, really fun. So instead of dress to impress, I thought we would have a little fun with dress to de-stress. See what I did there? Dress to de-stress. I said it before and I'm saying it again. So we are going to have ourselves a little fashion show where I am going to look absolutely ridiculous, and you will hopefully laugh and feel better when you do. So, let's find that runway. Ready for the show? Now, wasn't that fun and also kind of ridiculous? I mean, it made me smile. It made my mental health for a while here feel better, and just kind of forget about some of the stressors that I have on a daily basis. And I have a lot. And I'm not alone in that. I'm really not alone in that. But that was just fun for me to be able to do, and it just made my soul feel better. A couple other things that I really like to do. I'm an avid gamer. I love to play video games. In fact, I may even throw my PS Network ID in there for you guys if any of you want to friend me on there. I love to play games. They are both challenging and creative at the same time, and they make me feel better as well. I also own a scooter that I take to work and to and from work when it's nice out, and it's amazing. It was a pandemic purchase because I still had to go into working in a lab and whatnot, and in the medical field. I still had to go in, so I was not able to work from home, but I was still scared to get on a bus, get in an Uber, all of that. So I had purchased this scooter, and it ended up being one of the best things I've ever purchased because it gets me outside. It gets me that sunshine and that time to de-stress before I'm going into a stressful environment, as well as when I leave that environment. That trip home really helps bring me back down to earth a little bit as well. Just being outside, the wind, the fresh air, it's really nice. I really enjoy the scooter. Sometimes I will take it out and just roam around, and I go where I go. But I would be curious to know what else you guys do to de-stress on a daily basis. What are some of the things that you like to do that help bring you back down to earth a little bit? Forget about your cares for just a short amount of time. Share them in the comments. Let's share them with the community, because let's not forget we're all in this together. We owe it to each other to be there for each other. That means asking each other how our days are, how we're feeling, but then also being genuinely interested, and not feigning that interest. You'd be amazed at how much of a difference it can make to a person to be seen and heard. Even if you can't do anything about it specifically to help them, just listening goes a very long way. So let's be there for each other. Share those de-stressors in the comments, and I hope you all have a wonderful mental health week. And don't forget, say it with me, life is just a movie, and our minds, well, they're the twist we never saw coming. Bye-bye now.